I'm actually done. I'm actually done. What is wrong with people? What is actually wrong with people? So I like to answer the questions that a lot of people won't answer. Lube is going to be your best friend. Ways to not feel self-conscious of your body when being intimate with a guy. And it just went tits up because that's how it's gonna go. I always wonder like why people are always like get very like bogged up and worried about this kind of stuff, and it destroyed me. There is nothing that makes my blood boil more than that kind of control. I was busy thinking about boys. Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to my channel. So friends, today we have another boy talk video. It has been quite a number of months since I last filmed one of these videos and I enjoy them, you guys enjoy them. We're gonna do another one because why the frick not? So I have a bunch of questions from you guys that I asked for over on my Instagram stories, so if you do want to take part in these kinds of videos in the future, definitely do follow my Instagram. I'll leave it up on screen now. Before we dive into the video though, I quickly just want to ask you guys the biggest favour ever, a huge favour. So I have been nominated in the Beauty Blog Awards, which is so exciting. It's an awards that does be held in Ireland, but you can vote no matter where you live. So if you live in America, in England, no matter where you live, you can actually vote. I have been nominated in 3 categories, which I will leave up on screen here, but I will leave the link in my description box and in the comment section, and it would mean the whole wide world if you could just go over and vote for me. It will literally only take you a minute, like not even a minute. All you do is click my name and press vote now. But yeah, I've never won anything in my life and I'm just super grateful to have even been nominated in the first place. So yeah, it would mean the whole world, so thank you. And one more thing before we dive on into the juicy questions, I really want to start a little series on my channel where I'm basically doing this, you know, sitting down answering a bunch of questions and stuff, but it won't be boy related, it won't be girl related, it will just be a bunch of generic questions. So it can be about any topic, boys, girls, bodies, relationships, sex, can be about anything, and basically just sitting down having a chat, you know, giving you my advice, my opinion on the situation, etc. So yeah, if you have any questions or dilemmas for them kinds of videos that will be coming very soon, you can leave them down below. I'll also be asking on Instagram. But yeah, with all this said, let's just dive right on in and get on to sorting out our boy problems. Right. Okay, so first question. My boyfriend doesn't let me wear certain things. This had to be the first question because when I saw this question, I literally wanted to like come through my phone screen, find this boy, pick him up. Okay, no, stop. Right, this is gonna get too far. People are gonna think I'm being serious. I am. But yeah, so basically what you need to do is you need to get this boy and you need to sit him down and you need to dump his ass, and then you need to get as far away from this boy as you possibly can because this is not somebody you want in your life. No, like seriously. There is nothing that makes my blood boil more than that kind of control. Okay, but on a serious note, that is wrong on every single level, and I think you even know that because you're obviously clearly questioning it yourself, or you wouldn't have sent that in. But when you think about it, you wouldn't let your friends tell you what you can or can't wear. You wouldn't let your brother, your sister, your cousins, your grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, your parents, obviously once you get to a certain age, but you wouldn't let anybody tell you what you can or can't wear. You wouldn't let someone tell you how to do your makeup. You wouldn't let someone tell you how to cut your hair. You wouldn't let somebody tell you what to do with your body hair. You wouldn't let somebody tell you what tattoos or piercings to or to not have. Your body, your life. Our bodies are a way of us expressing ourselves. The clothes we wear, how we do our hair, our makeup, if we shave or we don't shave, tattoos, piercings, these are all ways humans express ourselves, and it's so important that we have that expression. It's so goddamn important. And if somebody's telling you you can wear this, you can't wear that, like, they are the ones then in control of that expression. Do you know what I mean? He's controlling you. He seems like he would be a very manipulative, controlling person if this is something that he's doing. And honestly, if I were you, I would get out of that relationship as soon as I can, because people like that don't tend to change because they, you know, people like that just want to have as much control as they possibly can, and especially in a relationship, they want to control their partner in every sense of the word. I have been in a controlling relationship myself before, and it destroyed me. And you know, there are still a lot of things that I am still struggling with from that relationship that affected me, you know, ways that I go on, or in my confidence, or whatever it may be, you know. So controlling relationships do have a long term effect on you, you know. It's not just going to be for a few months or a few years. Even if you ended up being with this person for years, that will carry with you throughout your life. Do you know what I mean? You need to put yourself first. You need to think about yourself, and don't let anybody control your life. You're the only person in control of your life. You have the steering wheel. Don't be letting this arsehole, this sorry for my language, jump on over and take the wheel, because it ain't his goddamn wheel, baby girl. He's got his own wheel. Okay, so who buys the condoms? Who buys the condoms? Is it him? Is it her? Is it both of them? I don't know. Right, so I have heard the argument before from women being like, you know, men should always have to buy the condoms because you don't see men paying for our pill, or paying for our implant, or paying for our bar that we're getting inserted for birth control. So why should they not have to pay for the only thing that they can possibly do to use as protection? Do you know what I mean? And on one hand, like, I do kind of see where people come from, but then on the other hand, I'm just kind of like, you know, why are you being petty? Like, you know, if you're old enough to be having sex, you should be a lot more mature than that. You know, if yous are both wanting to have sex, why should it be all put onto one person? You know what I mean? Like, why should it be one person's responsibility to always buy the condoms? Do you know, like, it doesn't make sense if you're just as wanting to have sex as he is, you know? I personally think it should be a 50-50 thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes it might be one person buying them for a few months more often, then it might flip-flop, whatever. But I think for the most part it should be 50-50. I don't think you should ever expect, you know, put that expectation on somebody else, because at the end of the day, you're both adults, you're both responsible. If you're having sex, it's both of your goddamn responsibility. Do you know what I mean? So the next question is, and this question was asked the most out of all the questions here, ways to not feel self-conscious of your body when being intimate with a guy. And then there was girls being like, you know, how do I feel sexy when I'm being intimate with a guy? Like, I'm just wanting to cover myself up, like I feel so insecure. Basically, how to be more bedroom goddamn confident and feel like that boss ass bitch you goddamn are. Okay, so I feel like I have got like a few little tips up my sleeve, like hee. So first things first, have you got your pen and paper ready, your eyes peeled, your ears open, are you listening? Okay, right, so first things first, I feel like if you are not comfortable in your own skin and with your own body and your own body parts, you're never going to feel comfortable in front of somebody else, and that's just matter of fact, and it's just how it is. I would say something that is so important in regards to this, and is the first step, is just say pleasuring yourself and masturbation, and getting familiar with your own body, what you like, what you enjoy, what feels comfortable for you, you know, standing naked, looking at your body, pointing out the things you do like, complimenting yourself, seeing yourself from all different angles, shapes and forms, and being like, you know what, that's a sexy goddamn body, look at my boobs, look at my ass, look at that jiggle, like, you know what I mean, like, talking yourself up, like, give yourself that goddamn pep talk, you know what I mean? And don't be like looking in the mirror being like, looking at all the things you hate, because that's not going to get you anywhere, you know what I mean? We were only given one body at the end of the day. Why not just learn to goddamn love it? Because this is what we have for the rest of our lives, you know? People, humans, we come in different shapes and forms, but that's the beauty of it. Like, how boring would it be if we all looked the same, you know, and all our bodies and our boobs and our bums and they were all the same size? It'd be so boring, you know? So I feel like getting to that place where you can embrace yourself, and also getting used to your body on your own, like masturbation and stuff, I feel is the first step, and is a very important step, because I used to be very insecure in the bedroom, and I used to like be like, cover it up, and I like kind of like want the lights off, and like I wouldn't be like, you know, very confident at all. Whereas now I'm like the complete opposite, and I could never see myself going back to that place. But I feel like anybody can get there, because I was in the same position that you were in before, so it's definitely somewhere you can get. So after we've gone through step one, I'd say the next thing would be feeling good. Okay, so you know what I would normally do is things like, you know, have a really long shower, like wash my hair, wash my body, shave, exfoliate, get out, moisturize, the F up my body, perfume, put like very minimal makeup on where like, you know, it's not going to be like sweaty and running off you and disgusting and you're going to look like a clown at the end, but like just minimal makeup where you like, you know, makes you feel better about yourself. Tie your hair up, leave your hair down, just do things that you feel good, do you know what I mean, that you're going to feel confident and sexy in. Then I'd say wearing things you feel very sexy in, like sexy underwear, like a matching underwear set, or some lingerie, oh my god, lingerie, or else like a really like cute like sexy little bedtime romper thing, you know what I mean, shorts and a little like silk top set. Like there's so many things you can do, there's so many options depending what you feel most comfortable in, but I feel like that is then the next step, is feeling good in yourself, because if you're not feeling good in yourself, you're not going to be feeling sexy and confident in the bedroom. Do you know what I mean? Like you should walk past the mirror and go, damn. The next thing I would say is being more like vocal and stuff like in the bedroom, because first of all, when you think about it, like, you know, we're all human, we're all self-conscious about things, we all have parts of our bodies that we don't like. There is not one person in this world that doesn't, you know, whoever you may look up to in this world, they have things they're self-conscious about. Even when I did that video, my insecurities, I had so many people messaging me being like, thank you for that. Like I literally used to look at you being like, why can't I have this, that, but she has so many things she's insecure about, because we're all human, you know. So the person you're also having sex with has insecurities. But you know, I remember when I used to be insecure in the bedroom, I'd be there and just say, they'd be looking at something like, oh my god, what are they looking at? Like, oh my god, like, are they looking at my lumps, my bumps, my stretch marks, like my this, do you know what I mean? But they're not, because when you're having sex, you're in the moment, you're enjoying it, you know, you're turned on, you're like, oh, it's a very intimate, passionate thing to do with another human being. Like, have you ever been having sex with somebody and gone, oh, look at their that? Because I know I haven't. I've never noticed anything on somebody else that I've been, like, in a negative way. I've only ever seen things and been like, wow, like positive. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the way our brains are going to be working. So I feel like you've got to understand that the person you're having sex with isn't looking at you and the things you're insecure about the way you are, and you need to just learn to embrace yourself. I'd also say that, like, in the bedroom, like, don't be there like feeling all like, you know, just be vocal, be like, you know, fuck it, you know, I'm going to enjoy this is my body, it's the only body I'm ever going to have, so why not just let it all go and, you know, speak your mind, like, tell them what you want, tell them like you're enjoying this, you don't want them to do this, you know, whatever it may be, but don't just be lying there being afraid to like open your mouth, whatever. Just give yourself that little bit of confidence, that little bit of push, do you know what I mean? Because you're the only one who can give it to you, nobody else can. I feel like you need to view sex and being intimate as an adventure and not as like a chore nearly where you're not looking forward to it because of how you feel in yourself. They would honestly be my main tips, but just remember, like, this guy is just feeling so goddamn lucky that he's even been able to have sex with you in the first place. Like, that is how a lot of men's minds think, that like they're just like, oh, I can't believe I have this beautiful woman in front of me with her amazing boobs and her bum and her body and her curves and whatever, you know. That's how men's minds are thinking. They're just like, wow. They're not like, do you know, it's like they wouldn't be having sex with you in the first place. So let it go. We need to embrace ourselves, and that's the goddamn end of that. The next question is, do you need to love yourself before letting a boy love you? So I feel like this ties into our last question a little bit, and short, yes, 110%, because how can somebody else love you if you don't even love yourself, if you don't even know who you are and you're not comfortable and happy in your own skin? There's no way somebody else possibly can love you. The exact same way as when I was saying you need to feel comfortable in, like, you know, looking at yourself, your naked body, and pleasuring yourself, masturbating, because how can someone else pleasure you if you don't know how to pleasure yourself? How can you feel comfortable in front of someone else if you're not even comfortable in front of yourself? Do you know? It's the exact same thing. And I was in a relationship before and I didn't love myself, and I expected this person to love me, and it just went tits up, because that's how it's gonna go if you don't love yourself, because there's just gonna be oh my god, I'm so sorry. Jesus, even my body's like, girl, you can't be doing that. Like, hold up, I'm choking on my own goddamn words. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, if you don't love yourself and you are expecting someone else to, it's just going to nearly drain you as well, because you're going to get so obsessed and hooked on wanting this person to love you instead of actually working on yourself and taking time to understand you and love you, you know. And it's not an easy journey. Self-love, I feel, is a lifetime of work, and it is. And I just feel like, you know, yeah, there are a lot of people who are at that place, but I just feel like you're always going to be working on it. It's something you're always going to be working on, because we're human, you know. It's not just a switch you flip and you go, okay, I love myself now. It doesn't work like that. But I feel like you need to have a really good understanding of yourself, and be very comfortable with yourself and happy in your own skin and with yourself and your head and all that before being with someone else and getting into a very serious relationship. I feel if you don't have any of that self-love, it will bring a lot of insecurity and a lot of just always wondering, like always being like like never really feeling secure and safe in that relationship. And the longer that goes on, the more it's only going to hurt in the end for the both of you guys. So I would 100% say the best thing to do, like, there is nothing fucking wrong with being single. And I don't know why it's always this big thing of when a woman's single, it's because like, oh, there's something wrong with her, and like, why haven't you got a boyfriend yet, and like, what's wrong with you? And there's this big thing in society, in the media, but yeah, when a fella's single, it's like, oh yeah, you're the man, like, how many girls are you fucking this week? Like, no, like, stop. Like, why is there always such a different, like, one rule for different genders? Like, it's so stupid. But yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being single, you know. Sometimes the best thing for you is taking time out, not being involved with anyone, not speaking to anyone, just working on you. And I've done that before, and it's one of the best goddamn things I ever done. Any conversation starters for a first date / ways to avoid awkward silence. I've got sweaty legs. Literally, for the first time in my life, I'm actually wearing a dress while I'm filming, and I'm already regretting it so much because the sweat in between my legs is actually horrific. Okay, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Back to what I was saying. Okay, so conversation starters for a first date. Okay, honestly, on a first date, like, you have the ball in your court. You have the whole world at your feet because you have everything to talk about. Conversation is endless, like absolutely endless. I always wonder like why people are always like get very like bogged up and worried about this kind of stuff, because your first few dates should never be a concern to you whatsoever. And I'm not saying I'm a big first date expert or anything like that. I've had a few first dates. I've not had a crazy amount or anything like that, but I would say the best thing is like ask questions, because when you ask questions, that's what's going to get conversation flowing and starting and moving. Do you know what I mean? Like, one question can literally turn into an hour conversation. Like, that's the beauty of asking questions. Asking questions about their job, their friends, their leisure time, what they like to do on the weekends, what are their hobbies, are they into travelling, where was the last place they travelled, what kind of food do they like, what kind of TV shows do they watch, what kind of movies are they into, like, what kind of alcoholic drinks do they like, do they drink alcohol? Like, honestly, the questions are endless, the topics are endless. So I would just say don't be worried. And in relation to like awkward silence, there is no need for an awkward silence, I feel, on a first date. Even if you're not really into this person, you know, if you're with them for a few hours, like, it's very easy to make that time pass. You know, crack a few jokes, ask about past relationships, but don't talk about your exes for too long. Do not bash your exes on a first date. That is probably the worst thing you could do. But yeah, like, talking about, you know, past history, like what went wrong, what are you looking for in your next relationship, what don't you want in your next relationship. I would just say don't stress it, just go in there feeling confident, you know, have a few like main topics in your head, you know, like I was listing out, and you're good to go. You'll be absolutely fine. Just don't stress that. I feel like a lot of the time the anticipation of something can be like so much worse than the actual doing of it, you know. I'd say once you get there, it'll just be like, okay, let your hair down, this is fine, and you're gonna be okay. So me and my boyfriend want to try anal, but I don't know how to hygienically be ready for that. Any advice? I really want to answer this question because I feel like there's just a lot of questions online that like people, you know, YouTubers or whatever would never touch on when they get asked questions. And if I was asking these kind of questions, I'd be watching the video like, why couldn't you answer my goddamn question? So I like to answer the questions that a lot of people won't answer. So first things first, I would say you're going to need a lot of lube. Lube is going to be your best friend in regards anal. I would suggest you could maybe even possibly get a butt plug just for before, just to, you know, get comfortable to something being in there, maybe give it a little bit of a stretch, because if it's your first time doing it, you know, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. Now it might not, it might be absolutely fine. But, you know, just so you have all the measures in place there. And then I would also say to wear a condom, and make sure no matter what you do, just say if he has a condom on and you are doing anal, make sure he doesn't take it out and then put it in your vagina, because if he takes it out and puts it into your vagina, there is a very high chance that you're going to get an infection, because the bacteria that's in your bum should not be going into your vagina. If you are switching holes, you need to change condom. You need to change condom, obviously, or else if you're on birth control, or I don't know the understanding of your guys' sex life, but yeah, just make sure you're safe, you're using protection. You also just want to make sure you're using a condom, so you're not going to get any infections up in your bum. But yeah, lots of lube. I'd say just make sure you're very relaxed is also a very important thing. A lot of build up, I'd say a lot of foreplay, and just set the mood, you know, maybe some candles, some like nice music, just make yourself feel relaxed, because if you're tense, there is no way he going in there, honeybee. Nah. If you're tense or you're stressed or anything whatsoever, the muscles in your bum are just going to be like, ugh. Do you know what I mean? It's the exact same if you're stressed or you're tense before you're about to have sex. Your vagina muscles are just like, you're not coming in here, like, back off, back it up, back it up. When's the right time to have sex with him? We're not official yet. I'm always very like surprised, I feel, nearly by these questions, because I do be surprised, I think, that people think there's ever a right time to have sex with somebody. Like, it's just, you know, like, saying that there's a right time or not a right time, I feel it's just a mental statement to me. The right time is when you feel comfortable and you feel ready and you want to do it. That is the right time. There is no time limit on it. There is no status on it. There is nothing. You just don't have to be official. You know, you could be with him 2 days or you could be with him 2 years. It is completely up to you. And don't you let anybody tell you differently, and don't let anybody pressure you into something you want to do. And also, don't let anybody stop you from doing something you want to do. Once you're safe about it, and you know, once you're not being risky or anything like that, it's absolutely fine. Just make sure you're using protection, make sure, you know, he's somebody you trust and you feel comfortable around, and you're good to go. I'm actually done. What is wrong with people? What is actually wrong with people? Okay, so the next question is, boyfriend tells friends about her sex life. I'm not comfortable with it, but too awkward to bring it up. Oh my god. Right, so first things first, that is completely wrong, that is disgusting, that is disrespectful, and he needs to kick up the bum. Okay, so he has no right doing that. It is nobody else's business what you guys get up to closed doors. Behind closed doors, and he has no right going telling his friends about any of that. So I would honestly say that, you know, you really do need to talk to him. There's no reason for you to feel awkward about it. He is your boyfriend, you guys are being intimate together, you should feel very comfortable saying absolutely anything to him. I always kind of say that if you don't feel comfortable expressing your feelings to your partner, then you shouldn't be with them. And especially when they have done something to upset you, if you feel like you're holding your tongue and you're biting your tongue, that's a really bad red flag, and it's a bad sign. I feel like it shows that he doesn't have a lot of respect for you whatsoever, and respect is one of the most important things in a relationship. Respect, trust and communication, I would say, are the 3 top things in a relationship. I would sit him down and just express your feeling, saying that you are very upset and this has been bothering you. And if he's not extremely apologetic, you know, maybe he wasn't thinking, because sometimes men don't think. You know, they're a different creature to us. Like, women and men are so different in every sense of the word, you know. So yeah, unless that's the case, then, you know, maybe you can talk things through. If he understands, you know, where you're coming from and he is sorry and he's not going to do it again, fair, completely fair. We all make mistakes. But if he tries to point the finger at you and blame you and make you feel bad and make you feel like you're exaggerating and just being like a little missy, then I think he needs to go. Because how can you trust being with someone like that? You know what I mean? Especially like being intimate with someone is such a it's such a precious thing. Like, it is, you know. You're being so vulnerable with somebody, and you're really letting them in, you know. So I don't think, you know, if he can't have the respect for you, like, why should you be giving him that intimacy, and why should he be getting all the girlfriend benefits off you if he's not being a very good boyfriend, clearly. I personally know of a few people who have done this to their partners, and I just think it's so degrading, it's so disgusting, you know. There are a number of things that should always be kept private between a couple, and that is one of them for sure. The next question is, would it be stupid getting into a friends with benefits with someone you are in love with? The worst thing you could ever do, and I cannot stress that enough. Do not do it. Don't do it. Please don't do that. Like, whatever you do, don't go back to something that broke you. Why go back to something that broke you? Why go back to something that hurt you? Why go back to something that caused you so much pain? Why do you want to be somebody's, like, you know, bit on the side who obviously didn't treat you very right, you know, obviously didn't work out. So if it didn't work out, it's not gonna work out. And, you know, I feel like a lot of girls and a lot of women, you know, we're very emotional human beings, and we hold on to things and we don't want to let them go. And I know I've been there before, and it's extremely hard, and it's shit, and it hurts, and it's heartbreaking, but it's going to be much harder in the long run if you're holding on to this thing. You know, the longer you hold on, the harder it's going to be. But the sooner you let go, yes, it's going to hurt, and it's going to hurt a lot, but the sooner that hurt is going to go. If you're holding on, you're just prolonging this pain. You know, you are giving him what he wants. I'd say he'd love nothing more than for him to click his fingers and you can run and he can have sex with you, you know. That would be his ideal situation, because a lot of men think with their dicks, they don't think with their heads. Not all of them, a lot of them. So yeah, that would be, like, also a huge reason. Like, why would you want to give him so much power and control over you again, and him feeling like he's, like, you know, in the steering wheel of this situation? Because you need to take back that control, and you need to be on the steering wheel, and you need to say, no, I am not going to, you know, let myself belittle myself like that. You know, I'm better than that. I'm a woman. I know who I am. I'm a strong woman. I can get through this. The best thing I would say for you to do is cut him out. Don't be his friends with benefits. Don't talk to him. You need to get over him, because I feel like, you know, once you're in love with someone, you know, them feelings never completely go. I feel if you were, like, properly in love with someone and not just infatuated with somebody, if you were actually in love with them, them feelings are never going to go. And once you have sex with someone, them feelings are just going to be rekindled. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I really wouldn't advise that. Especially, like, friends with benefits situations are difficult and fucked up as it is, and confusing as it is, let alone with someone you used to be in love with. So yeah, that would be my honest advice. And, you know, I might be sounding a little bit harsh, but I just don't want you to put yourself in a place where you're going to hurt yourself a lot more, you know. So friends, that is the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I honestly adore these kinds of videos, and don't forget to leave any questions, dilemmas you want for more boy talks, and also for the generic questiony style of videos that I'm going to start doing very soon. Thank you so very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. I cannot wait to see you on my next video, and I love you all so very much. Mwah. Bye friends.